I asked leave of the Parliament to make a statement.
Is leave granted? Minister, go ahead.
Connect PNG program, financing and implementation. Connecting the unconnected and reaching the unreached, saving the unsaved. Mr. Acting Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity to provide an update on the progress of financing and implementation of the Marape-Rosso government's flagship Connect PNG Economic Roads Infrastructure Development Program. Mr. Acting Speaker, before I do so, let me firstly acknowledge the Prime Minister, Honorable James Marape, and Ministers of State, our provincial governors, and the members of Parliament for the ongoing support for this important road development and sustainability program for PNG. Mr. Deputy Speaker, PNG's roads will continue to be essential to the country's socio-economic development as they facilitate 85% of the movement of passengers and freight. Roads facilitate development of much of the natural resources as well as development and movement of more cash crops in the country. In recognition of this, the key economic growth goal of the Medium-Term Development Plan 3 to improve infrastructure with sustainable and disaster-resilient quality to provide more enabling environment for growth of the economy and for the improvement of service delivery. Mr. Deputy Speaker, however, much of the existing road networks were built in the 1950s and 1970s to connect relatively low population and places. Despite significant increases in population and the economy as a whole, many roads remain in a poor condition and many people and places remain unconnected to major economic hubs, constraining trade, business and the delivery of essential services. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the overall cost of poor roads in PNG is estimated to be growing at 750 million per year in road replacement cost, as well as climate-induced weather-related emergency restoration works borne by the state as the asset owner. Another 460 million per year is needed on road traffic accidents, delay costs, and wear and tear costs borne by the vehicle operators and road users around. As a result of the underdeveloped and rundown conditions of the country's road network, decreased road accessibility is a bottleneck to government's aspirations to diversify and grow the economy to 200 billion mark in the next 10 years. Mr. Deputy Speaker, considering the long-term impacts of the declining conditions of the country's road network, the Marape-Rosso government's ongoing Connect PNG Economic Transport Infrastructure Development Program 2020 to 2040 aims to build and maintain 16,000 kilometers of roads consisting of national highways, missing link roads, bridges, provincial and district roads throughout the country at an estimated investment cost of 20 billion. Mr. Acting Speaker, the government's medium-term plan is that by 2027, we must upgrade and improve to highway standard 4,200 kilometers of the 16 priority national highways in PNG and open up 1,800 kilometers of missing link roads, including the Trans-Island Highway, to meet the over role vision of government to create a single uninterrupted national road network that will, for the first time, connect the Momase and the Highlands region into Port Moresby in the southern region. For the New Guinea Islands, East and West New Britain provinces will be connected with a proper two-lane highway standard road that it can facilitate agricultural development, as the two provinces have huge development potential. Acting Speaker, the work on upgrading and improving 4,200 kilometers of strategic economic highways has commenced and will reach 3.5 billion by 2027. The highways will be upgraded and improved to two-lane national highway standard, and these highways, which includes Hiritano, Megi, East-West New Britain, Bluminski, Manus, Highlands Highway, and Civic Coastal Highway, serving the main economic corridors, providing critical linkages for major portion of the 85% freight and passenger movement in the affected provinces and the regions. We have, up till now, completed 2,500 kilometers between 2019 to 2022 to bring it to total 50% good conditions from 12% in 2014 of the target length of the national roads network at a total record capital expenditure of 1.354 billion. Mr. Deputy Speaker, unlike before, road users can now experience improved conditions on the main highways for the first time. In keep pace with the medium-term investment targets, there are more than 3 billion worth of multi-year maintenance and capital works contracts that are running at the moment, and another 2 billion worth of works at design and tender stage. Mr. Deputy Speaker, an important part of the Connect PNC program is to construct 1,900 kilometers of missing link roads to standard class 3 for 200 million kina per annum, starting in 2023, which is this year, budget to reach 1 billion by 2027. Mr. Speaker, the target for phase 1 is to construct 633 kilometers out of the 1,900 kilometers. We have constructed 362 kilometers, almost 57% achievement. We are on track to deliver the 633 kilometers for phase 1. By 2027, Finsafen, Karamui, Telefomin, where my electorate is, and Minyamia, with a population of more than 1 million people who are yet to connected by road, will be connected by road by then 2027. The key on the agenda is to complete and open the Trans-Island Highway by 2025, coinciding with 50 years independence jubilee of our country. It will important link Port Moresby and Lae, followed by Goroka, Mereng, Hagen, Wibek, Mendi, Tari on the mainland. What is going to be the first undivided single road network. Mr. Speaker, the other missing link roads include Southern Highlands Gulf Highway, Central to Milne Bay Highway, East-West New Britain Highway, Baya Mereng Highway, Gulf Highway, Kerema Kikori, Fisika Road, Lae to Finsafen, Mereng Gulf Highway, Kum Ine Karamui, Purari, Transfly Border Highway, South Coast, Pomio to Kimbe, basically from Kiunga to Ayambak, Tabubil in Western Province to Telephone in Wesibik, missing link, and the Transfly Border Highway from Daru Coast to Whippim Station, all the way to Mohead. Mr. Speaker, once the program is funded and implemented successfully, it will stimulate economic growth and create sustainable, autonomous, proud zones that will ultimately increase per capita incomes in the currently unreached and underdeveloped remote regions and districts with huge development potential like Miniamia, Finsafen, Telefomin, and Karamui districts. Mr. Acting Speaker, provincial and district roads are important as they serve 85% of our rural population. We have allowed for 9,000 kilometers of provincial and district economic roads to be delivered in partnership with the subnational authorities to rural standard at 300 million annually between 2023 and 2027. Mr. Deputy Speaker, this will include upgrading and improvement of major arterial road networks for the regional cities of Mount Again, Port Moresby, Kokopo, and Ley, and other major towns to Eben Road standard in partnership with local authorities in the provinces and districts to provide rural population the opportunity to grow the rural economy and encourage investment with improved access to markets, service hubs, and industrial centers. Mr. Speaker, our government has spent to date is at 1.296 billion from 2019 to 2022, with the equivalent completion of 1,066 kilometers of roads and brought to good condition out of the target of 3,000 kilometers, which is 35.53% achievement. Mr. Speaker, we are on track to bring to good condition 3,000 kilometers of road, the provincial and the district economic roads by 2027. Mr. Acting Speaker, there have been many recent heavy rain and flood-related emergencies, mainly in the southern region, affecting rural accessibility for our communities. Our provincial works managers have been directed to work with the local authorities to respond to these emergencies and restore full access by this week. Mr. Acting Speaker, under the Connect PNC program, we are also upgrading and replacing 3,000 meters of overdue bridge structures to the required design standards and mitigate climate change risk on the main highways. Mr. Speaker, this component also includes 2,000 meters of rural standard bridges on the rural roads to increase rural access for the rural population. The total cost will be 1 billion at 200 million per annum between 2023 to 2027. Mr. Acting Speaker, our government has spent 195.57 million over the last 4 years, with a corresponding achievement of 165 bridges, equating to 3,000 meters completed on the rural roads and 591.44 meters on the national highways. Mr. Speaker, we are implementing major replacement and upgrading of 71 major bridges on the Highlands Highway to standard 2-lane, and another 2,000 meters of rural bridges program for the remainder of the program. Mr. Acting Speaker, because of my department's overreaching role and responsibility for roads and bridges, every time a road or bridge is in a crisis situation, those affected do not call the District Development Authority, nor the provincial government, nor the Department of National Planning and Monitoring, where all the funds for the subnational roads and bridges are being held. Mr. Speaker, the affected people instead call the Department of Works and Highways. Likewise, you, the members of Parliament, also bring your grievances concerning your roads and bridges every time to me. Mr. Speaker, yet my department is not given the funds for the subnational roads and bridges. My appeal to those agencies holding on to funds for roads and bridges is to work with my department to deliver those projects at the approved and expected standards. Mr. Speaker, Acting Speaker, Connect PNG is not business as usual. As many may say and criticize are saying out there, our government is rethinking the way enabling economic road transport infrastructure development projects should be funded and delivered. We are looking beyond the short-term needs to build better roads to meet future long-term demands across all of Papua New Guinea. Mr. Deputy Speaker, in order to achieve this outcome, the government is focused on more evidence-based investment decisions to get more and better quality infrastructure for less cost. Mr. Speaker, government has allocated under ADB loan 100 million funding for proper design and feasibility studies as a compulsory requirement to ensure large investment cost on big economic highways, starting with Momase Corridor and Trans-Island Highway Corridor, meet the economic and technical viability standards and tests. Mr. Acting Speaker, guaranteed long-term funding is a key success factor to roll out the Connect PNC program in a timely manner. Mr. Acting Speaker, in recognizing the ongoing underfunding issues and its impact on the program targets, the Marape Rosso government, in line with the Funding Act 2021, has committed 7 billion for the remainder of the Phase 1 from 2023 to 2027 program to achieve the program targets. Mr. Acting Speaker, the government's Connect PNG program is now underpinned by Connect PNG Implementation and Funding Arrangement Act 2021, which ensures guaranteed long-term stream of funding over the life of the program. Mr. Acting Speaker, the key provision in this act is to allocate a minimum of 5.6% in the annual budget for the program period out of the total revenue forecasted in the budget. Mr. Speaker, let me also highlight here that the program covers all 4 regions, all provinces, and all districts of the country, including our region of Bougainville, Autonomous Bougainville. This program covers our special region of Bougainville, Autonomous Region of Bougainville. Mr. Speaker, for the first time, there is equal distribution of road projects and funding to all regions to give equal economic opportunity to everyone without leaving no one behind. Mr. Acting Speaker, let me also acknowledge and recognize our donor and development partners who are contributing more than 50% of the capital expenditure from loans and grants funding. The Asian Development Bank, World Bank, Australian Aid, Japanese Aid through JICA, Chinese Aid through Asian Bank, tax credit scheme from our project areas, Australian Infrastructure Financing Facility Loan, and Indian Exim Bank. The funding support, Mr. Speaker, this funding support from our donors and partners come with strong governance and management structures to ensure long-term funding is guaranteed and, importantly, expenditure is strictly for the intended purpose. As a result, projects funded under the loans and grants are completed in a timely manner, meeting the required scope and standards. Mr. Acting Speaker, the Connect PNC program is about building roads now to secure the economic future of PNG, to make PNG become middle-income country by 2040. Unfortunately, the future is still a long road ahead with many challenges to overcome, and is therefore important for us to work together. Mr. Deputy Speaker, it is like the promised land of milk and honey that was not served on a golden plate, as promised to the children of Israel, but was created by the children of Israel themselves through sheer determination and hard work. Mr. Acting Speaker, as far as infrastructure-related development is concerned, Papua New Guinea is at a critical juncture to build reliable infrastructure that must drive value and economic future for our people. Mr. Speaker, the implementation of the Connect PNG program is critically important for PNG and requires timely and adequate funding, resources to ensure program targets and milestones are achieved in a timely manner. Mr. Deputy Speaker, subnational road authorities are supported by increased funding through the Department of National Planning and Monitoring, technical support from the Department of Works and Highways. Mr. Acting Speaker, overall administration and political and financial decentralization requires proper capacity and resources to implement developed management and maintenance responsibility, so that this will be done gradually over time in line with capacity growth. Mr. Acting Speaker, to ensure an orderly transfer of powers and accountability, road management performance agreements are being signed between the department and each province and each district. There is already a partnership framework with clear demarcation of roles and responsibilities between Department of Works and Highways and the subnational authorities. For this arrangement to work, budget funding must be aligned and distributed fairly rather than the current centralized system. Mr. Acting Speaker, in conclusion, if the government is to transform PNG from a low-income country to a middle-income country and improve the country's ranking on the Human Development Index, it cannot be business as usual. We must prioritize our expenditure areas so that PNG's scarce funding resources can achieve maximum impact on the economy and the lives of the people. Connect PNG program is one of the such priorities the government must fund fully. With 100% road connectivity, PNG shall never be the same again. Connecting the unconnected, reaching the unreached is a must for me as the Minister for Works and the Highways. Under Phase 1, work on the national highways and on the transnational and the central Milne Bay missing link roads is progressing well, so that they are completed in order for our people from the Momase Highlands regions and Milne Bay province can drive to Port Moresby and celebrate the PNC's 50 years Golden Jubilee in 2025. Yes, together we can do it for PNG and help people. With that, let me, as our Parliament and our people, it's the road that grows economy. Connect PNG is real. Support the Department of Works and Highways so we can deliver, and this government so we can deliver Connect PNG by 2020 to 2040. Thank you.